Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. This is a project that we'll be making. I'm doing this video for Splitcoaststampers, and it's alcohol markers on vellum. We're going to do some coloring with that, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So that top card there with the boat, that is a finished card that I made using this technique, and it's really simple. Your results are going to be different every single time, and it's a lot of fun to do. And that is the card that we're going to be making. I'm taking the layout or the sketch of that, and I'm using it for the card that we're going to do today together. And I'm using a Valentine's Day stamp set just for the sentiment of just wanted to say. And over to the right there, you'll see the punch I'll be using to punch out those hearts. And remember, you can use anything with this. I have a little bit of ribbon for embellishing, and then some pearls, alcohol spritzer, my alcohol markers, or there's alcohol in the spritzer, and then I'm going to build up our vellum piece there. You can use thick cardstock or regular. It's better if you use regular because it's easier on a punch if you use a punch. And the reason why I chose the black vellum, that is on white vellum paper with white print and script, and you really can't see it too much, even with the lighter colors and the dark colors. But that's how it turns out on black a little bit with the black vellum print. So I thought, it's a little bit more spicy, and thought that was a great idea. So to layer up our vellum on top of the cardstock with adhesive sheet, I have a 6x6 piece of paper there. I cut down that adhesive sheet to like 5 7/8 by 5 7/8 just for a teeny little bit of wiggle room, because this stuff is sticky, very sticky, and it can be kind of messy too with the stick part. And I fold it back like that, and I always bring in like a stamp positioning tool and use the L corner for pretty much everything I do in my crafting. So I got down that sheet real well, got it evened out, and now I'm going to pull off the top layer of the adhesive and then just layer on that vellum right on top of it. And that is how easy that is. And this technique is super easy too. I really don't have a name for it or anything. It's just alcohol markers and, spritzing isopropyl alcohol on it and moving it around with your heat tool or whatever. So we have everything down there, and I'm pulling in the markers. Make sure your punch is lined up. With this, the script doesn't matter too much because it's every which way. And you want to cover as much as you can of your vellum there, coloring on top of your vellum. So I brought in like a red and an orange. Using darker markers I found that gave me better results doing this, but you have to play and experiment because nothing is ever going to turn out the same. So I got the red, green, or red, orange, yellow, green, Roy G. Biv basically. I'm going to put on some blue. It's kind of a lighter blue, and so is my purple that I chose too. That's kind of a lighter purple. It's easier to add color than it is. Most people say it's easier to add color than it is to take it off. In this instance, no, it's not. You can take off as much as you want, add more. All you have to do is grab a cotton ball and pull it off with alcohol, and you're fine. So I'm bringing in my spritzer filled with alcohol, and you want something to protect your work surface with, and I am spritzing the daylights out of that. You want to twist it and tilt it and turn it in the sun to where you can see that everything is wet, and start moving it around with your hands, and then move it around with a heat tool too. You want to get that nice and heated up, and just start blowing the ink around in however you want it to. It's not too messy, to tell you the truth, but you still want to protect your work surfaces. And once again, I'm twisting and turning and rotating around my cardstock there to see if everything's dry, because it'll look dry and you'll be able to see it. And you can always dab a little bit off with, not necessarily a baby wipe, but a paper towel, a dry one or something like that. And that is how that's looking so far. And like I said, this is really fun. The color possibilities that you can do this with are endless. Maybe even try other types of vellum that's out there on the market. And am I finishing up heating things up? Yes, I am. So we are going to go on to the next step. And again, that is what we are looking like so far. I decided I needed more purple. And this is where you can go in. It's got to be dry though, remember that. You can go in and add some more color, spritz on some more alcohol. And remember, it's basic alcohol from your household, the isopropyl alcohol, not the wine or anything else. And then once again, I'm just moving around that ink and getting everything dried up the way I want it to be. And I think I'm looking okay there. So as I'm finishing this up, be assured that you're going to be able to download a PDF with all the measurements, how to make that slimline card, our card that we're doing today, everything like that at the end of this video or, down below. So to move on, that is what we are looking like there. So I'm going to assemble our card real quick. And again, all the measurements and how I put it down. I did liquid glue for that. For that panel, you're going to have to put it through your embossing machine twice because it's a longer panel. I put sticky strip on the back of the glimmer paper there because you never know what the backing is like, so that's just safer. I'm loading up my image panel there with foam dots and I'm laying that down. And then our image panel too is going to go ahead and be put up on dimensionals as well. So this is a pretty dimensional card. And it's not going to cost you too much postage or anything like that. Nothing more than usual. And that is our sentiment I've already done. And now I'm picking and choosing where I want to punch because I want to get everything pretty much in Roy G. Biv order. So I'm just kind of moving around my cardstock there. Up top left, you see my red and then you see the orange. And so for my yellow and orange heart, I kind of want to make the left side orangish and then the right yellowish, and then the same thing moving on, yellow and green, and so forth. And I apologize that my card's not down there further, but that just kind of happened. So getting to the very last one there, I didn't like how the fourth one looked, so I wanted to get a little bit more blue in there and decided to switch them out. So when I decided to finally put everything down, for my sample card, I used adhesive on all of the hearts. With this one, I thought, I don't know why they're all not squeezing in the same, so I decided to do the first and the last and then the middle with liquid adhesive and then pop heart number 2 and 5 up on dimensionals. That was a last minute thing that I did. So I'm just now getting everything down there for you. And there I'm popping on the hearts, but this is a super easy technique to do. You could even do this on a window sheet of sorts or even a backing that comes on your clear stamps. Color it on there, spritz some alcohol on it, and move it around and use that to dab on watercolor paper or whatnot. So of course my battery died and I had to put the bow on and sentiment on off screen. And now I'm just popping on a couple pearls. But thank you so much for joining me today and for Splitcoaststampers for having me. I hope that you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And that is what we are looking like. Super simple, super cute. I think the next one I make might be all red hearts. I'm just going to have to wing it there. And I will see you again the next time around. Thank you so much for joining me.